A very warm welcome to your intriguing, captivating, inspiring, superb, and special #1 edition of Celebrating Icons with Ife. Okay, it is your #1 show on TV. All right, viewers all over the world, I will say this over and again, that success is not just gotten. Success is not a one-hit wonder. Therefore, if you see someone successful, do not envy them. Go back, walk your court, and see your magic. Last week on the show was quite expository with a distinguished personality on the icon set. This week promises to be a bumper because it is another accomplished icon on the icon set. You don't want to beat that, so I bet you to sit back, relax, and enjoy it all. Don't go nowhere.
This is the story of the village boy who made it into the global stage. By the year 1970, the bloody civil war that lasted 3 years and claimed millions of lives was now ending. And one would be remiss not to appreciate the new promise that had been sent to Andrew and Christiana Ozigbe. The couple conceived their last child seemingly as a covenant, a sign from God that peace was possible and that death, disease, pestilence, and the suffering that the preceding years of war had brought was now thankfully at an end, and it was time once again to be productive. Into the world had come Valentine Chineto Ozigbe. Val attended the Christ the Redeemer College, a secondary school in Amaisi, Anambra State, where he was an outstanding student of his set, representing the school in various quiz competitions and inter-school activities and making a name for himself in the local community. Valentine Chineto Ozigbe, Val, as he became popularly known, learned many of life's important lessons from his father, who retired as a celebrated educator and headmaster, and his mother, a small business owner, devout Catholic and dedicated homemaker, who instilled in him and his siblings the virtues of discipline, integrity, and hard work. His display of academic excellence earned him his first job, as he was employed by his alma mater to teach physics and mathematics. Val studied accounting at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, graduating in 1994 as the best student, winning all the departmental and faculty prizes. In less than 10 years, Val had created an impressive career for himself, a thoroughbred banker and corporate titan. Val is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, the Institute of Credit Administration, and the Institute of Tourism Professionals. He is also a member of the Institute of Directors Nigeria and a member of board of Jesuit Memorial College, Port Harcourt. All this from the humble beginnings in rural Amaisi and arriving into the world in a post-Civil War Nigeria with an uncertain future. As he ventured into the big world with tales of allure and the promise of great wealth swirling in his heart and mind, he was also acutely aware that he carried within him the hopes and aspirations of the small community. Failure was not an option.
Let me describe Val in one word.
I think I would describe Val as a man of the people.
Noble. The noble gentleman.
He's a man of many parts.
Simply amazing.
My dad is the best.
Daddy is Superman.
Hardworking.
Dad is too hardworking.
Superman.
Mr. Val is superb.
That's my dad for you.
Val, a man of faith, steadfast to his word, steadfast to his truth.
All right, welcome back. Still your #1 show on TV, Celebrating Icons with Ife. You will have an ebullient icon in the house, okay? Till I did a research on this ebullient personality, believe me, I never knew that a man so solid and true, so real could exist with so much qualities, so undiluted. He is so passionate. And he has a kind of vision for his people that is so emulating, honestly. And if I keep saying it, I won't have the time to live here today. So I beg you to welcome the man of the moment, the man on the icon set. He is no other than Mr. He doesn't want to be a chief, but he's up to that. He doesn't want to be a high chief, but he's up to that. Okay, he prefers Mr. Valentine Chineto Ozigbe. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ify. I'm very honored and pleased to be with you today.
Interesting. Yeah, I can hear him talk today. You know, most of the time he moves and your moves are so inspiring. I called this interview today an inspiring one. All right, because as I said earlier, if I didn't go through some things, or I didn't go through your documentary that just played out now, I wouldn't have known much about you. And a little research I did about you, that you are the great son of Mr. Andrew Ozigbe, a retired teacher, headmaster. Then your mom, a small business, I call her a small business executive, because for her to, like, you know, excel to this level of bringing up a village boy to a world-class CEO, her business is no longer a small one, but an executive one, no matter how it is, and you understand. So, beautiful. Lead us into your family background, parenting, and early childhood upbringing.
I want to share this with you. Everything you've heard or seen and known about me is simply a manifestation of grace of God.
Beautiful.
I consider myself a child of grace. I have seen this since I was a kindergarten, since I was out there in that remote locations where I grew up. And I have to say this. If I talk about my beginning, you would almost think that there are things to say and know about me that I consider divine.
Okay.
I am the last child of my parents.
Oh my.
And the seventh child, for that matter, born on the 7th month, 1970.
This is interesting.
And I know what 7 represents.
Good.
And I don't think I'm by any chance an accident. I think God especially made me.
What does 7 represent?
Wholesomeness, completeness.
Beautiful. Okay.
And you know, I started growing up not realizing what my purpose actually was in life. I just was that homeboy, that son of a village headmaster, that son of a catechist, born in Omomako, started school in Ugwuntijebwe, and now came back at some point in to Amesi, where I'm from, all in the old Agwata in Anambra State. I grew up being that last born that actually refused to be called last born, who wanted to catch up with those who were my elders.
Okay.
I wanted to do whatever was right to make sure, you know, I could represent, you know, myself and a true son of my father.
Okay.
And thankfully, with the Christian background, with the, you know, that disciplined environment, I was able to learn how to be industrious at a younger age. And of course, we were not, we were not that type of family, I would say, lived in affluence.
I wanted to come into that.
Yeah, we did everything that we needed to do to make a living.
Okay.
There was nothing, you know, I didn't do things that were horrific, but there was nothing at that level. I was a goat herder. I had a poultry, a small poultry. And the type of chicken that I read is what we call avocate. I don't even know the English name for that.
Avocate.
Avocate. So go and Google it and go find it.
Will I find it in the Google?
I'm sure you will.
Okay, that's an
but it's a special kind of bird that has basically no feathers.
Oh, okay.
And the medicine guys, this is what that is actually the most expensive type of chicken. And that's what I specialized in. And I was also able to do other things like packing sand from the gutters to sell to construction companies. I went to university with that confidence.
Okay.
And guess what? I stepped into the University of Nigeria for the first time. I wasn't perturbed. And when you try to describe me as gentle giant, to be honest, I actually had always felt that it's not about who I am, but the God that lives in me. I went into that university and I said, I don't care who I was going to meet here.
Okay.
I know I would see people from special science school, federal government college, all those big names, CKC, DMJs, whatever you call them. But I won't let anybody beat me in my class. I don't care who you are. And guess what? I made the best result in the department, in the faculty.
In the first 17 years of Val's career, he was in good company in the annals of the who's who in the banking industry in Nigeria. Beginning from Now Merchant Bank, from where he moved to Diamond Bank, Val has been a part of the phenomenal successes of many leading banks in Nigeria, namely Continental Trust Bank, FSB International Bank, Standard Trust Bank, Bank PHB, and United Bank for Africa.
I've known Val for about 15 years now.
I got to know Val a very long time ago in the banking services industry when I was Chief Executive Officer of FSB International Bank PLC.
I've known Val for about 15 years.
Talking about my career, I knew I would be a banker from my third year because I had a teacher, a lecturer in financial management who insisted that, there would be a prize for who becomes the best student in his own course, financial management.
Okay.
And by the special grace of God, first semester, there were 2 A's, and I was one of those A's.
Okay.
But by the time we got to the second semester, this man had become a big man. Dr. Jonah Ozigbe from Anambra. He had become an ED in Now Merchant Bank, which is the oldest merchant bank in Nigeria.
And you worked with them?
At some point, I'll tell you about it. So eventually this man, drove into the university in my final year, and you know what? Everybody was looking from the window, and then we saw the man alight from his car. I ran after him. I descended the 3-story building to go down to. So, sir, before you run away, you're owing me money. I said, how? So, well, you had a prize. You said the best student in your course will have a cash prize. I'm here for my cash prize. So how do you know you're the best student? So, well, there were only 2 A's in the first semester. I was one of those A's. But in the second semester, there was only 1 A, and I was the A. So I don't need any magician to tell me I'm the best. And the man said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to give you any money. You will do your youth service in Now Merchant Bank. That's how I secured my banking career. And from there, I moved to Diamond Bank. And within a year, I became the best staff of Diamond Bank in Nigeria. Within 5 years, I became a branch manager. Within 7 years, I became a regional manager. Eventually got up to the level of general manager. Became a head of international banking, head of offshore liaison, head of embassies and multilaterals, head of global transaction bank, and I was actually now moving from one country to another.
Still that village.
And some years I would actually visit 15 countries. I went to different places.
Excuse me, in a year you visited?
In a year, 15 countries.
15 countries.
And I would visit, the powers that be, from US to China to India to France to Dubai, all for business. And the joy to get into a place like China and become an employer, not an employee, because I'll be the one to find an office to interview Chinese, and that joy
right there in their country,
right there in their own country, and then even within the African countries, the same thing. So I had a lot of fun. At some point, I also became a teacher in banking. I taught over 1,500 bankers in this country.
Celebrating Icons. Well, Celebration Icons with Ife. It's a wonderful program. It's informative. It's educative.
Welcome back to your top show on TV.
I am so deeply grateful to God for the family I've come from, and I'm so happy that God has also continued to be with us in thick and thin. As a matter of fact, this year my parents would be celebrating their 65th wedding anniversary.
Oh my.
And my father at 92 and my mother at 87, both still alive. It can only be by the grace of God.
To say that Valentine Chineto Ozigbe is a man with a heart of gold is a literal understatement. He is a man who uses his gifts in the service of humanity and who prefers to place others before and above himself. He is a man who sits with the elders and makes small talk with kings. His legendary generosity has been experienced by many lives within the local community where he grew up and into the far reaches of other communities in many corners of Anambra State and indeed Nigeria. Not one to ever forget his roots or indeed the prescient circumstances of his birth. He has over the years made donations worth a significant figure in cash and materials to human capacity development initiatives of young men and women around the country.
You now have to then start asking, how do I touch lives? And this is how philanthropy starts to develop. Okay. And I tell people, don't wait until you become a millionaire or a billionaire before you start to touch lives. Okay. Start now. From the little you have, you can touch, you can impact. And thankfully, I joined a company, a group, whose mantra is about touching lives and transforming our society. Okay. That's Transco. And if you go by even some of my mentors have been doing, what Tony Elumelu, for instance, started to do, empowerment, entrepreneurship, touching lives across the continent. You can't but even get better in that touching lives.
You said his name is?
Tony Elumelu, of course.
He's a Nigerian?
Of course, okay. He's an African. He's the best African entrepreneur you can find.
I should know him. Go ahead.
So,
right?
Sure. And this is why I started a number of things much earlier in the day. I started a 4-pronged program. Okay. One is about knowledge, empowerment, letting people understand that knowledge is truly power. And there are ways you can talk to people, they get motivated, they get inspired, they get better in whatever they're doing, whether they are looking for a job, whether they're in school, whether they're in business, whether they're in other vocation. And so what I actually used to do, I fly in, inspirational speakers from UK, US, from Nigeria, down to my village every single year.
Down to the village?
Yes, that's why I'm a village boy, So anyway, from that we go into business plan competition. I start to ask those who have great business ideas, go out there, apply on our website, and at some point we'll gather you all, you make the pitch, and we'll see who is coming first, second, third, and all that.
You still do that now?
We give 2 million to the first prize, 1 million second prize, 1 million third prize, and then we have other consolation prizes. I haven't done it last year because I jumped into politics, and I'm doing much bigger things than that.
Sure, we'll come to that.
Now, we'll move to the third part, which is talent hunt. There are people who may not have gone to school, who have known how to run business, but they've got other special skills God has blessed them with, like singing, acting, dancing, comedy. So we're going to talent hunt. And this time, I fly in people from the Nollywood and music industry.
Is that why you love people from the entertainment industry?
They love me, and I love them. I love them back. I love them back.
Okay. We see all of that.
Yeah. So, they come to my village. Usually, I have someone like KOK, Kanayo.
Great man.
Usually, the chief judge of the event.
I want to let you know on this note that I'm very proud of you as a gentleman.
My name is Chineto.
My name is Rita Dominic.
My name is Banky Wellington.
I am King Tonto, and I definitely do not need an introduction.
I have known Mr. Val.
He has been encouraging and supporting me to go higher and higher and higher in my acting career. So he's a mentor to me. I look up to him.
In a polling center, and he was a volunteer as I was.
I have known Mr. Val Ozigbe for close to 10 years now.
Somebody that we all love, somebody that have come to know personally.
As an entertainer, you must know Uncle Val because he is an advocacy for the well-being of the entertainment business.
Mr. Valentine has always been a huge lover of entertainment.
You cannot be affiliated with the Nigerian or the African industry and not know Uncle Val. That's not possible.
One of the people that I can call reliable.
As a matter of fact, I consider myself privileged knowing him.
Very helpful.
We've had some great memories together.
He advises me, he talks to me like I matter.
Always willing to do whatever it takes just to make sure that you achieve your goal.
What we do is really not just to show who is best among them, but see how we can mentor them and handhold them to stardom. Like I remember one of the movies I also part-funded is Merry Men.
Over the years, Valentine Ozigbe has supported the entertainment industry. This is made evident by investment in the movie Merry Men 1 and 2, and also by the accolades from many, many celebrities and famous individuals across the entertainment industry in Nigeria.
I'm one of the owners of Merry Men.
Are you for real?
Yes, I'm actually an executive producer, and in the first one, you will see me there. You will see a picture. But my role was a Waka Pass.
Oh my! It was interesting. I'll go look out for it again because of you.
So what I did was to make sure one of the winners starred in that movie, and through that he gets bragging rights, starts to talk about his career in that sector.
He has been encouraging and supporting me to go higher and higher and higher in my acting career. So he's a mentor to me. I look up to him.
You know, one thing that I've done about the youth, if you go and put them through a classroom, mentor them and talk all the big grammar, call some people, give them money, and then do this other talent on, and you haven't partied with them, you haven't done nothing. So we have the carnival. And I've had to fly in over 20 A-list artists to perform in my village.
A-list?
From Flavor to Fino to Simi to MI to, you know.
All of that, these are great Nigerian
artists.
And,
you know, and this is why I got that name, King of the Youths.
Wow.
I am proud.
That's another name.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, I did all this for several years, and you know what used to happen? Politicians used to get threatened. What does he want to run for? And are you sure he's not going to come take my position? I said, no, I'm not interested in politics. I just wanted to do this so that I can impact the society that formed me, that village that touched me. Let me touch them back, and that's all I was doing. And then since then, we've gone to do other things in philanthropy. I've actually spoken to you about the freestyle football. Is all part of it. And I've also been active in the church. I was the chairman of Unusual Praise, which is the largest Catholic gospel event in Africa.
In 2018, he was the chair of the Unusual Praise and the Unusual Entrepreneur, a program that empowers young budding entrepreneurs and startups with funding, mentorship, and strategic opportunities.
Celebrating Icons. About the Celebration Icons with it's a wonderful program. It's informative, it's educative.
Welcome back to your top show on TV. You are a very busy man, okay? And as I said, I sounded earlier, it wasn't easy getting you on the icon seat, okay? Believe me, it wasn't so easy, but I am the happiest human being alive getting you here on the icon seat.
I'm honored.
Thank you very much. And how do you juggle between business, family responsibilities? Because believe me, you're a very humble family man. Now into politics, how do you relax?
It's something that I preach.
Okay.
It's something that I promote, which is balancing.
Good.
You know, your ability to balance things in life will be your single most potent factor when it comes to success. I am not a person of extreme.
Okay.
You will not see me doing extreme of anything.
Okay.
How do you balance between what God wants of you, your faith in God, and your ability to touch lives and live with humanity? Because if you go on one extreme, every day you're sleeping in church, even God will be unhappy with you.
Definitely.
If you go on the other side, thinking you can, you know, everything depends on you, you own yourself, God will teach you a lesson that I own you.
Sure,
but you can bring the two together and you create the right balance. The same way, I have to make out time for family. Sometimes they suffer. But you know what? When you don't have the time, make sure it's quality enough time so they can forget the period they didn't have you.
Thank you very much. I really want to appreciate you for coming on the show. You are a great icon, and your character, your life is quite emulating. Okay, so I really appreciate you, honestly. So to the final moment, which we've been waiting for, is your parting words to our viewers, esteemed viewers all over the world. Look directly to the camera in front of you and advise, especially the youths who believe that the fastest way to make it in life is to do anyhow and grab it anyhow, just the dubious way, any way possible. Just your advice to all.
Thank you. And as I advise you, I'm also advising myself. I want to tell you this. Number one, recognize that God exists. Number two, understand that relationship matters. Whoever you meet in life, do your best to leave that person with a positive impression. And when you never know where you're going to meet people, and so cut that relationship right now. Begin to nurture it until such a time you may need that relationship. Even if you don't happen to need one, create that goodwill for yourself. And as you do this, you are building to last. And whatever you want to do in life, try to be the best in it. Let it be said that you've applied yourself to the fullest. And trust me, hard work pays. And this is the reason I think the manifestation of God's grace is abundant in my life, because I didn't just trust in Him alone, I followed that also with hard work. And don't keep waiting thinking that your destiny is not yours. It is in your hand. You can decide today which God you serve and what you do in life. And because these are the things that can shape your behavior for a longer time. So I want to encourage you to keep living and hoping and wishing for the good, because it will come with your own effort and with God's guidance and leading. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Okay, this is indeed an affirmation of the fact that great leaders always possesses qualities and traits which explicitly distinguish them from others. Okay, and undoubtedly, Mr. Valentine Chineto Ozigbe is a paragon of a quintessential leader. I must say, you are an exemplary leader, and all right, this show will be incomplete if we don't celebrate the icon on the icon seat today, in the person of Mr. Valentine Chineto Ozigbe, who is from Anambra State in Nigeria. Okay, I will say fans, the cast and crew members of Celebrating Icons with Ife worldwide, everybody, affiliates, family, friends, we are all here to celebrate the man of the moment. And you are over there, viewers all over the world. This is to the great man on the icon seat. We say many more years of success and greatness. We say cheers, to the man of the moment. Thanks for watching. It's a wrap on the show today. I appreciate my esteemed viewers all over the world for watching your #1 show on TV, for having Mr. Valentine Chineto Ozigbe. Thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate you, and the world celebrates you today. It's a wrap on your #1 show on TV. Same time next week, believe me, it will still be a bumper package for another distinguished icon on the icon set. I remain your friend, your anchor, your host, everything. Ifoma Arenze saying, thanks for watching. Bye.